Good morning. Today we start with the lesson Lost Spring, The Lost Spring, written by Anis Jem. First of all, about the author. Anis Jem, born in 1964 in Rourkela, spent her childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. Here, she analyzes the grinding poverty and the traditions which condemn these children to a life of exploitation. She talks about the plight of the street children forced into labor early in life and denied the opportunity of schooling. Here, in this particular video, we talk about a character, Sahib, who is a rag picker. The author encounters Sahib, the rag picker, every morning scrounging mean looking for gold here mean coin or the other things to sustain his life, in the garbage dump of his neighborhood. She talks to Sahib, who tells that he had left his home long ago. He had migrated to Dhaka. Her mother had told Sahib that there are many storms that swept away their field and home. That's why they left their house. He tells that he is unable to go to school as there is no school in his neighborhood. When they build one, he will go. The author asks half jokingly, "If I start the school, will you come?" "Yes," he said, smiling broadly. After a few days later, the author saw him running up to her and asked him, "Is your school ready?" The author says it takes longer to build a school. She is embarrassed at having made a promise that was not meant. But promises like this abound. Abound mean in plentiful. They are abound in plentiful in every corner of this bleak world. After some months, the author asked him his name. He told Sahib-e-Alam. He does not know what it means. If he knew its meaning, the meaning of that word Sahib-e-Alam is Lord of the Universe. He would have very hard time believing it. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams on the street with his friends, who are an army of barefoot boys who appear like morning birds and disappear at noon. Over the months, the author came to recognize each of them. He is not lacking of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot. She wonders if this is the only excuse to explain a very perpetual state of poverty. Perpetual mean everlasting state of poverty, to witness that they are always in poverty for a long time and it is going to last later also. The author remembers the story of a man from Udupi. Once that man told her the story. As a young boy, that man would go to the school past an old temple where his father was a priest. He would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. 30 years later, the author visited his town and temple. In the backyard where lived the new priest, there were red and white plastic chairs. It means prosperity is gained over there. A young boy dressed in grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes, arrived panting and threw his bag on the folding bed. Looking at the boy, the author remembered the prayer of another boy, the son of the priest, isn't it? That was made to the goddess, that when he finally got a pair of shoes, that let me never lose them. And goddess has granted the prayer. That's why the young boys like son of the priest now wore shoes. But what about many others like rag pickers in the neighborhood remain shoeless? These barefoot rag pickers, they live in Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it. Simapuri is at the boundary of Delhi, but it is nothing like Delhi. That's why metaphorically, Delhi yet miles away from it. Those who live here are squatters. Squatters mean living on the land without permission or rent. They have come from Bangladesh back in 1971, and Sahib family is one of them. There, in structures of mud with a roof of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage, or running water, live 10,000 rag pickers. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with the ration card, and get their names on voter list, and that enable them to buy the grain. Why they do all these things? Because food is more important for survival than an identity. It doesn't matter if they have the identity or not, but they must have food. When author asks them why they left their beautiful land of green field and river, the mother says that wherever they find food, they pitch their tents and become transit home. Children grew up there and they become partner in survival. And survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Garbage for them is gold, because from there only they get the things they need and that make their survival possible. It is their daily bread, a roof over their head. But for a child, it is something more than it. Sahib tells with lightning eyes, I sometimes find a rupee, even 10 rupee note. But when you can find a silver coin in the heap of garbage, you don't stop scrounging it, for there is hope in finding more. It seems that for children, it is wrapped in wonder. For elder, it is means of survival. So children have different attitude. They take it as something wrapped in wonder, because they get wonderful things out of it. And for elders, certainly, it is a means of survival. They have to scrounge over it. On the next encounter, author came across Sahib as an employee of tea stall. He was doing hard work. He has changed his occupation. Now from rag picker, he has become an employee in tea stall. He is paid rupees 800 for all meal. And now the carefree look on Sahib's face has been replaced by the worries and anxiety on his face. Now he is not that carefree, free, happy Sahib. Now on his face you can see worries, anxieties. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. Why? Because the bag was his, and canister belonged to the man who owns the tea. Now he is no longer a free bird and the master of his